I'm Sansa Stark of Winterfell. This is my home, and you can't frighten me.
Before Sansa Stark was promised to Joffrey Baratheon.
I'll never be cruel to you again.
Before she would flee King's Landing.
Where is she? No one leaves the capital!
Before she...
You keep doing this.
What?
It's not a bio on Sansa Stark. She's a fictional character.
She's real to me! Before she would debut on television on Game of Thrones. Before she received nominations for Best Young Actress Award by the Screen Actors Guild. Before she recast as Jean Grey in X-Men Apocalypse. She was born Sophie Belinda Turner. She was introduced to acting at a very young age and had been in Playbox since the age of 3. She had performed in plays and musicals from a young age, and her first television show was actually on Game of Thrones. While filming a mega series like Game of Thrones, it's like a dream come true for a young actress. It doesn't mean that Sophie had an easy time. She recalled that the intensity of her audition period, filming certain scenes that took 10 hours to shoot. She is allergic to horses, and her controversial rape scene on the show caused a bit of a stir.
It was a reaction that went for weeks online. I mean, what was that like for you behind the scenes watching that unfold?
But through it all, she had handled herself with a high level of maturity and grace for a person that has been placed under the spotlight from an early age. In addition to playing Sansa Stark on Game of Thrones, Turner also appeared in music videos and more recently in X-Men Apocalypse. Hey everyone, I'm Azzy and welcome to Before They're Famous, documenting the life of Sophie Turner prior to fame, here for you on Before They're Famous. Also, if you want to see more of me, you can check me out on my personal YouTube channel, Azzyland.
Who makes his pussy pop?
Sophie Turner just asked me what makes my pussy pop.
Sophie Belinda Turner was born on February 21st, 1996 in Northampton, England. Unfortunately, her twin sister died before birth. Turner still thinks about her before doing emotional scenes. Her mother Sally was a nursery school teacher and her father Andrew worked for a pallet distribution company. When she was only 2 years old, her family moved to Warwickshire. At the age of 3, she was already signed up for Playbox Theatre. The acting troupe is based out of Warwickshire and they offer classes and workshops in theatre and drama. It was there that Turner stated that her love for acting grew. She stated that Playbox had a fun and playful environment to it. She said that the children in her program took acting really seriously and that the teachers would not mold them into a certain type of actor but let you be yourself.
Aluminum.
Hey guys, have you seen my aluminum bike?
No, but I've seen your aluminium bike.
Yeah, it's aluminium.
Her first lead in a production at Playbox was called Scary Play, and it was directed by Stuart McGill. While at Playbox, she was also in Red and Seven. As a child, Turner recalled that her childhood was incredibly fun. She has 2 older brothers, and as kids, they would hang around their family barn and play in the mud. She stated that the village in which they grew up in was incredibly small. She estimated that there were more animals living there than people. During her school years, she attended the Worth Prep School until she was 11, and she attended the Knights High School for Girls. As she continued acting, her performances on stage were enough to get her an audition for Game of Thrones.
I hate riding. All it does is get you soiled and dusty and sore. Anyway, you're not supposed to leave the column anymore.
It was actually Playbox which put her up for the audition. Turner recalls how intense the entire process was.
Pick that up.
For the role of Sansa Stark, she received 4 callbacks after the initial audition. Although it was intense, she stated that it was a fun process and she got to do a lot of on-screen chemistry tests. The last of which was with her future co-star Maisie Williams. The two would later become best of friends. Initially, it was Sophie's mother, Sally, who heard back from the casting director. Turner was 13 years old at the time and recalled being on vacation in France when she was informed that she landed the role. Her mother walked into the room and said, "Good morning, Sansa." Turner cried tears of joy and jumped into a pool. While on the set of Game of Thrones, Turner would have a tutor that would assist her with her studies and homework.
And who built the Red Keep?
Maegor the Cruel.
And how many years did it take to build
My
the Red
grandfather and uncle were murdered here, weren't they?
Ironically, she received a B in drama class. Her first season of Game of Thrones was an incredible experience for her. She even got to keep a memento from the set. While some actors may take home a prop or some past scripts, Turner would adopt the Inuit dog that played her dire wolf on the show. She convinced her mother to tell the producers to let them keep the dog, and it's been a member of the Turner family ever since.
Oh, there she is.
Right here.
Her name is Zuni. She's so cute.
She stated that she loves her time on set. She often finds ways to have fun in between shots. For instance, her and Jack Gleason, the character who plays Joffrey Baratheon, would often rap while on stage. However, shooting for Game of Thrones does not come without its difficulties. When shooting her marriage scene, Turner recalled that one of the days consisted of filming her walking down an aisle and down some stairs for 10 hours. They kept reshooting the scene and from different angles, and Turner kept tripping on her own dress because it was so heavy and so long. In addition, the later scenes of Game of Thrones sparked a lot of controversy when Turner's character was involved in a rape scene with one of the show's most hated characters. Many politicians and viewers stated they'd be boycotting the rest of the show as a result. However, while the scene was controversial, it highlights some of the harsh realities of historical periods that they are trying to portray. Turner stated that while the scene was daunting for her to film, she secretly loved it because of how messed up it was.
I think it's the kind of reality of what it was like back in, you know, medieval times and what actually happened to women.
Yeah.
While she does love working on Game of Thrones, Turner hopes that her character is eventually killed off. She stated in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that what's the point of being on Game of Thrones if you don't have a really cool death scene? I agree with her, unless you're taking the Iron Throne, of course.
Well, Leah's not right.
Besides her work on Game of Thrones, Turner was also casted for Jean Grey in X-Men Apocalypse. She actually credits her role in the film to her Twitter followers. She recalled that she started getting a large amount of tweets in which people started telling her that they were recasting Jean Grey as a young 18-year-old and that she should audition. She responded by emailing her agent asking about the role. Her agent told her that they were interested in her, so she made an audition tape and got a call back, flew out to LA for a screen test and got the role.
So you've got the powers of telekinesis.
I do.
Yeah. So how will you you have yourself?
Me myself.
You actually
yes.
have got them yourself.
I do.
Turner will also be appearing in 2016 film Alone. In the film, she plays a teenager who is befriended by a war veteran who is suffering from PTSD. While her upcoming projects keep her busy, fans cannot wait to see what else is in store for her character, Sansa Stark, as Game of Thrones approaches its final 2 seasons. And for the rest of the story, well, you guys know the story because this is before they're famous.
You know, I just gave him a quick lick.
Okay, let's take a look.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. We've also done some other Game of Thrones characters if you love the show as much as I do. Don't forget to tune in next time. Bye.
They can keep their red castle. And their iron chair too.